Troy, your team able to pick up a win last night, faced a little adversity late in the game with the kill, but overall, how did you feel about things?
Yeah, I certainly liked our game. I thought we did a lot of good things, and the last two games specifically, we've really done a nice job of protecting the middle of the ice, whether it was off the rush, coming into D-zone coverage or our D-zone coverage, and consequently, we're not giving up as many chances. And our goaltending, Bebo and Sogart last night, have been there to make saves when needed. So last night, a little bit of adversity down the stretch there. That was a big penalty to kill off, and then the 4-on-3 to start overtime as well. And that certainly helped us, get through the rest of the overtime to potentially score or get to the shootout. So it worked out in our favor, but a lot to like last night.
You mentioned the defensive focus, and offensively, the goals haven't been coming as much as they have at some times this season. How do you kind of find that balance between playing good defense and creating offense at the same time?
Yeah, I think that, every team goes in certain spurts, whether it's offensive production or not. But, the mainstay of a team is your play without the puck, and that's certainly something that's we've been working on a ton. With a lot of moving parts within the roster, it's never easy, but we've had a number of PTOs here that have been really become part of our team because they've been here so long, and they're doing a nice job. And then when you have the buy-in factor from the returning guys that have been comfortable with this coaching staff, your game should progress and get better, and that's ultimately what you want to see as a coaching staff. So today's a new day, but certainly liked our Wednesday game against the Marlies, and again last night.
Mentioned the performance of Matt Sogard. How important was that performance and that win for him, given the way that the season has gone, for him to get back in the net and play that well?
Well, goaltending, that department is, it's been just adversity since the 5-minute mark of game 1. So we're in game 24 today. So that's basically 8 weeks and 2 months of hockey that there's been a lot of fluctuation with goaltenders and a number of guys that have been able to start. And the one constant has been Bebo's work ethic and what he's meant to the team over the first 2 months. And but Sogard, he's our go-to guy. He's our number one guy. And last night was only his 4th start. So a step in the right direction. I thought he was excellent last night and made some big saves at opportune times for us, and that's hopefully speaks of what can take place here as we get towards the Christmas break and moving forward.
Ridley Gregg gets back in the lineup last night. Didn't factor into the scoring, but at times it seemed like he hadn't missed any games. He seemed to be right back at that level.
Yeah, I liked their line. If I was to critique the 4 lines over the course of the 65 minutes, I thought Ridley's with Crooker and Soko were very consistent from start to finish, and specifically early, I thought they were our best line. And Ridley, nothing on the score sheet, but block shot. He was our best face-off guy at 75% last night. So, he's a good one, and he just brings a lot of the intangibles you like as a hockey player. And there's some nights he's just not going to show for it on the score sheet, but in other areas.
I was going to ask about that block shot. Were there some nerves on the bench when he came limping off?
Well, another guy that, last night was only his 11th game, I think, of the year. So he's only been in half the games, and he's fought some injuries. And, the kid lays it on the line, right, with his physicality and not afraid to block shots. And that's why he's one of our best penalty killers. So sigh of relief when he came off, and I said, hey, can you go back out there? And he says yes. So I haven't heard any complaints here so far this morning, so I'm sure he's ready to go.
What is it about that line of Sokolov and Gregg and Cruikshank? Because I know Sens fans who are following the prospects must love to watch those 3 out there together. What makes them such a formidable team together?
Well, they've got a lot of all the components you love in a line. I mean, Ridley's an excellent two-way player and plays in all 3 zones, and is good on face-offs, which always helps for their OZP time. And Crooker's game has really progressed. He's getting on the score sheet. He's being physical, and the biggest thing for him is his defensive play, and that's a work in progress, and continue to improve on that area, and we've seen improvements in Sako. He just big body, and when he's really protecting it down low and helping in the offensive zone play, they can spend a lot of time there. So, for a brief amount of 4 or 5 games that we've had them together, they've been very good, and hopefully that's a line we can go to and stick to here as we move into the deeper in the season.
I know back on the back end, Lassie Thompson was feeling a little under the weather yesterday. Seemed to fit in in all right, didn't look too out of place. Is he good to go again today?
Yeah, Tom's, we sent him back to the hotel early yesterday, and he got some rest and got some food, and got some color back in his face there, and said he was ready to go. And I thought he was solid. I thought our D-core this week, has been very, very good. We've got a good balance right now. The Breton kid has been really, really surprising in terms of just not knowing the player that well, and his puck moving ability, and then obviously JD brings that physical PK to the table as well. So like what we've seen here this week, so hopefully it'll continue today.
A couple more questions for head coach Troy Mann. I wanted to ask about Matt Wedman. He's going to miss his 4th game in a row today, which is the longest stretch he's gone in his AHL career without playing. Is he just kind of needs some time to find his game again?
Yeah, absolutely. We spoke to Weds earlier in the week, and it's just unfortunate right now that we had to press the reset button, and he's struggling with his confidence as well out there, and it doesn't really matter if you're a first-line player or fourth-line player. Anytime you got 0 goals and you're into game 24 of the season, it takes its toll on you mentally, and then parts of your other games start to disappear as well. And he's a north-south player that has to be physical and has to be good defensively and shoot the puck more. And those are the things that we're able to get him in the lineup last year and find some chemistry with certain guys like Bishop and Sabrin, and it just hasn't worked that way this year for him. A lot to do with injuries. You go into the season and you think, okay, these guys will be really good, and we want to find that fourth line that mimics what we had last year, and with injuries and recalls, just never played out. So he's just got to press the reset button, and when he gets his chance, he's got to be good, because the PTO kids like Luco and Boucher and Betts have done a nice job for us, and that's where he's in competition with for the lineup spot.
Is it one of those situations where you hope maybe the different perspective on a game night might help them to see things a little differently?
Yes, it's not unusual for coaches to make a decision and get a player to kind of reset and watch a game, and then they get a little bit maybe more hungrier and not as complacent, and then they come out and play a real good game and get right back at it. So, I just from Wednesday's game and last night's game, I liked our 4-line makeup, and I like what we've done without the puck. So when you win 4-2 and 2-1, it's a little bit difficult to change the lineup unless there's an injury or a recall. So we're going to stick with the same forward group, and we'll see how today plays out, and tomorrow's a new day.
And looking at today, time to get greedy, as you said last night. Try to pick up 6 points out of 6 this week. What are the keys to doing that? Will the start again be an important piece?
Yeah, absolutely. And special teams will play a factor again today, as it did yesterday with our power play goal and our PK coming up with a couple of real big, big kills for us. This is Game 7 against, so we know what to expect. They live off the rush. Their first look is to go east-west wide, carry it in, low delay, try and hit that second wave, so that's always a constant reminder to our team in terms of what they're trying to do off the rush in terms of generating their offense. And when you do a good job of tracking and protecting the middle of the ice, you can limit those opportunities. So, to me, that's the biggest key. And, as always, making good decisions at the blue line. I thought our forecheck was very good last night in terms of helping us turn some pucks over and spend some long shifts in OZP. Now, we didn't come out with a ton of great A's last night. I think we had it at 15-15, so it was a rather evenly played game when it came to the chances for and against, but I did like the amount of zone time we did. Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks, Footy.
Troy Mann.